Good day, everybody. It's Max, and this is Transport Fever to the Eurozone. You betcha. And we, of course, are going back into the Italian job because I can't leave brick alone, people. I have to try and do something with it. And, it turns out, hey, I actually did something with it. Now, is it like super profitable or anything? No. Is it actually showing blue numbers? Yes. Not always, but sometimes. And that I'm going to take as a win, people, because sometimes if you're just breaking even, you got to take that as a win. Before we get started, big thanks to recent subscribers and all those that are watching the series. I realize this brick line, is a curse that just kind of eats at your brain. I know I spent the vortex time. I was in there for days, came back out. Of course, the oil line is doing great. I was never worried about that. But we're going to try and at least tweak this brick line to at least equal 0. I'll take even, right? And then, maybe later I do something radical with it or something like that. So with that, let's see if I can't make brick at least smile on my kindness. Let's get to it. Okay, people. So we're going to have a quick look at the roots, and then we're going to try to fix the brick line. Oh, Max, do you really want to torture yourself? It might not be torturous, people. It might go somewhat easy on me, right? That's a thing. So let's have a look at that lines. Okay, so the Rome fuel train is now floating, say, 1.5 to 3 million. It is now down to 2 trains, but carrying 9 cars each, which, of course, does make sense, as these trains do have to travel a little farther than the Riga trains, and so because of that, they do carry a little more fuel. They run pretty good, though. That last car actually hasn't been touched, and I could probably risk removing it because the train speed is making up for the difference. That being said, we don't mess with a good thing, people, and it's making between $1.5 and $3 million. So, hey, I'll take that. And all the other, of course, the appropriate truck lines with that, of course, then started making a lot of money. And, of course, so we haven't really had to worry. That's weird. What's going on there? Okay, 2.8 million. I was going to say, they must have just stretched out enough where they both took their payments and then they both dropped off their $1.5 million loans. I was going to say, I'm going to panic. Anyway, it's making money. Life is good. Again, we like that. But we'd like to try and fix the poor brick trains, right? I have still not given up on them, people. So we're going to try the same trick here as we've done with the fuel trains. Of course, what we're going to do is we're going to cut them way back. Now that I've got them running with Scotsman, and they are able to do the 120 kilometer hour minutes, we're going to try and set these up. We're not going to worry so much about the minutes. In this case, we might run 3 trains instead of 2 because it is a bit of a longer distance here. I mean, that fuel train runs to here, but these brick trains have to run all the way down to here. So 3 may be the magical answer instead of 2. And we'll see how that goes. But we're going to give it a shot. And gee whiz. So to do this, it takes a little bit of practicality. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and line the trains up to get them into position. So when you go to kill 2 trains, right? Like you kind of gotta, you can't just kill. Now I could kill the whole line and reset it up, but that would make a mess of all the factories and everything. So what we're going to try and do when I bring it back here shortly is we're going to try and remove 2 trains from the lot. And when we do that, we'll go ahead, pull them out, and manually stop the other 3 trains into positions, right? I would think that position 1 we'll use is Naples. And position 2 and 3, I think we'll actually use this clearing right about here somewhere. I would say that from here to here, and then from here back to here, and then from here to here is almost the same distance. Maybe this set of lights here. Maybe right around this set of lights is probably the feel-good scenario. Now, keeping in mind, we make 2 stops over here, and we make 2 stops over here. So we can be a little shortened with this piece here because there's longer. It's going to take longer to go through them 2 stops. So, we may go back to this indentation here. But we'll try and line that all up. And once we have it ready to go, we're going to try that. Now, let's say that all goes out the window. Okay? And it doesn't work. That's possible. The second thing we will do is we will then not bother with the brick part of things. We're going to just try and haul the stone around, and then we'll drop off the stone at a brick location. When we do, the trucks will just pick up from the brick location. Okay, and as you can see here, I do have that a truck station here. I don't have one over here yet. I haven't put it in yet, and I'm kind of hoping I don't have to. If this first trick works, great. By smoothing these trains out a little bit, allowing the Scotsmen to take full advantage of their extra power and speed, we may get lucky enough that we can get the brick line to at least almost come to zero. The big issue is the duality cars, right? The need of running gondolas and, of course, flat cars is an extra expense. So even if we're just breaking even with them or just a little bit more, I will consider that to be a huge win on this case. So with that, let me do a little prepping here, and then I'll bring it back. So, experiment number 1. And in this particular case, what we're going to try to do is make 3 trains much larger, all right, and eliminate all the other 3 trains and see if we can't make it work from there. Now, to make this, and this is going to be the big change. So 9 has just left Naples. 10 is coming into Naples, and 11 will be behind that. So the trick here is, of course, is what we want to do is we want to let 9 get over to here before we let 10 go. And then when 10 and 9 meet together is when we allow 11 to go. Everybody behind that will just build up behind them, and we'll sell them. All right, so off we go. And, of course, like I said, train 9 at the moment is on its way over here, and we'll be keeping a close eye to that. Train 10, we are going to stop until train 9 is just about over there somewhere. Now, this will make train 11 automatically stop, of course, because, signals are a thing. So, let's make sure we don't miss train 9 and what he's supposed to do. Now, this is going to really mess up the cars, right? Because the car amounts aren't right. So we'll address that after we only have 3 trains left on here. So train 9, of course, is making his way around. Is getting ready to pass the fuel depot. And yeah, he's looking pretty good. He's looking pretty snazzy, right? Gotta like the Scotsman. He's flying. He's doing all right. There you go. Yeah, it's been a crazy few weeks, people. All right, here we go. So he's literally just outside the tunnel. We're now going to put 10 in action. And I'm actually going to stop 9 for a second until 10 turns around. Everybody slowed right down. So yeah, we want 10 to actually be in the station. And then as soon as he stops and does his unload, there we go. So we'll now hit this. And now he's pulling ahead at the same time. A little bit slower. Okay, there we go. Right about in there. All right, so now, of course, 11's waiting for 10 to get the heck out of the way, boy. And now we'll stop 11 there for a second. We don't care what's happening behind 11. We're going to sell those ones anyway. So what I'm hoping to see is 10 and 9 meet up in this space. It would be really, really nice if they did, right? So 9's doing his standard run, and that's fine. I would expect him to be dropping off. 10, of course, just did his pickup. So they're both doing their pickups, which is nice. And, of course, 9's now going to work in his way into the other station while 10's working his way around the bend here. He's coming through the tunnel. There he is right there. Look at him go. He's being very special. So 10 is now making his way, getting ready to make his way past the steel mill, but 9 is coming back out. That's good. 9 should make a pit stop, while 10 is now making his way around the bend here. That's good, and it's going to be close. I'm pretty sure they're going to... I mean, I always like to see how close I actually get to getting stuff right. It's just a little bit off. It's just a little bit off. Okay, so we're gonna run that there. I'm gonna start 11 up now, and I'm actually pretty good with the spacing as it is. It's not perfect. I think they're gonna end up in this tunnel here. But I mean, this guy's picking up speed. He's gonna have to slow down, so that's okay. Now, everybody after that, we're gonna sell. All right, so we're gonna stack 9, 10, and 11 over here. And then everybody after that, we're selling, right? All sales final. Everybody has to go. So we're gonna let him. We're gonna let these guys drop off, and then we'll sell, right? So 12 will sell. Yep. We're gonna let them drop off this brick first. And there we're boom done. Okay, so then we'll go to 13 next. 13, of course, they've all been waiting in queue here, right? So we would expect 13 to be coming into town now. And they're a little desperate. Okay, we'll sell that one off. I should have hit that a little faster. That was my fault. Now 14, of course, being queued up probably behind 13. And he's now coming in. We'll try and catch this one faster. All right, good enough. All right, so that's going to now clean that line up. So now the question becomes, let's have a look at the line statistics. And we'll stretch this out. So now this line is 7 minutes. But we do have another 7-minute line, of course, up in Copenhagen. So this is okay, right? We're getting into faster trains, so we can allow for a more space here. So they are 7 minutes. And what we want to do now is basically kind of just watch to see what happens here. First of all, we're going to see, right? I'm assuming train 9 just dropped off here. And now it doesn't look like he dropped off all his brick. But we just did flood that town, right? I mean, there were 3 trains that came in with brick, and we just flooded that town. So let's see what's going on with train 10. So train 10, this is really going to be the tester. Because train 10, of course, by the time he gets over here, Naples will be looking for some brick, right? The numbers, I'm expecting the number will be looking for a little bit of something. Yeah, so see, now it's dropped to 102. Of course, train 10 is just dropped off stone. That's great, right? We like that, right? And so it would be nice if this counter goes down just a little bit more. But remember, this is our first experiment, right? Our first experiment here is to try and just see what the reduction is to getting in these trains. And I don't want to change them just based on one train's result, right? So it's great that train 10's coming in. We'll see if we can catch a value here on this. So I think that was 843, and then he adds a bunch of brick in there. What's he pulling out with? 36. So he did drop off like 60 brick, around 60, right? So, call it like 50 something. But we'll see now what happens after, we'll let these guys all run through at least a full cycle to see if that's going to make any big difference. And then we'll come back. And if we have to, we can pare down these cars a little bit more to take the maintenance side off. So, I mean, there's no sense dragging around. There's no sense dragging around cars if we're not making any money on them. Now, this is the first time I've seen blue numbers on a train on this line in a long time. So, there's hope, people. There is hope. So, anyway, let's let these guys run around for a bit, and I'll bring you back. We are very close, people. We're very close. This thing's actually going positive at some points in time, and usually only hangs around the minus 1 million mark now. And there are times where it's actually like plus 500,000, okay? So what do we got going on here at the moment? So we had let it bed in, and which is fine, All right, but we want to check something else before we do anything else here. All right, as Mr. Autosave has graciously kicked in like always, and I'm sure I appreciate that at some point in time. Maybe not at this very moment, though. Okay, so let's go over here. Is Naples getting what it deserves? All right, so 108 out of 128, right? Who's going to be the next train coming in here? It is not 9. Is it going to be 11? It is not 11. Is it going to be 10? I guess it's got to be 10, doesn't it? It is going to be 10. So 10 is coming in here. He has a car 65 out of 65 on here. And, we're going to see. We're going to see if this is going to be what is happening. So see, now we've dropped this 96, 97, 96. And this is going to drop off. And everybody is getting their stuff. But, of course, he still has 2 on, right? So he didn't drop off all the brick. So let's see what happens now with this number. So he didn't drop off all his brick. Yes, the trucks are now delivering some of this brick. So we want to see if this goes up. Okay? Because this has always been the problem with the brick line. Is that after you do all these cutbacks, and this is the 4-day vortex hole that you go down. So, are these trucks getting enough brick here that they're jacking this back up, right? So he's got his 7 on there, I guess. And I guess he's also got, he's got no 7 on there. So he's going to drop his off. And I don't think anybody else has anything on there, people. I think it's pretty blank. I think everybody... Well, okay, I do have this second truck stop over here, and someone may be holding out. Oh, he was holding out. That guy had some on there. But, did we just see another train come in there? I don't think we did. Did you just come in here? Oh, he is just coming in there right now. Look at the timing on that. So, could we risk trying 4 cars apiece? Well, we will give it a shot. I may pay for it, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens with this vehicle management. All right, so we're going to select all the trains. Of course, we're going to do a replacement. We're going to go to Steam. We'll do some Flying Scotsmans because they're handling it. Now, under cargo, what I've actually been doing is, we have these gondolas here running 18. I've been actually going with the slightly smaller ones at 13. All right, so 13, 26, 54. I think 60 it comes out to 65. All right, I think is the number. So if I go 4 of these, that's 72. All right, that's actually more than what I should need. All right, so I've been going with these slightly smaller cars. The amount I don't care about, but they do come with less maintenance of about 65, 70,000 a year. So if we go 4 of these, that's 52, and we go 4 of the state cars that match them, not the 18s, but these 13s. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're going to replace these. We're going to let these run for a few minutes. So now we've just cut these down. All right, and of course this guy is running on stone and just a bunch of emptiness everywhere, right? So we'll see what happens here as part of this final attempt to try and get this to be a profitable line. Now, it is very possible you could try and just run 2 trains, increase these back up to 6 or 7 cars, and try that. I mean, but I will say the A3 for 120... the A3 is, for this kind of speed, is kind of the most, I would say, what I like visually friendly and most economical of the trains to run, right? So, hi, Mr. Road Vehicle. Are you picking up anything? We'll take you off the screen here for a minute. But see now, this is my concern, right? This town can handle 127. Will these trains drop off enough to handle this requirement. So we have a train coming in here now. This is train 10. All right. Boom. But see, he's holding on to 22. Why are you holding on to 22, dude? I'm pretty sure this guy wants more than 22. But we'll see what happens. We're going to see what happens. We're going to let him run around for a bit. We do have trucks coming in here to pick stuff up. And hopefully we'll see this number at least get it back into the hundreds. Otherwise, what am I doing? Right? So, why, see, so now we're actually losing population all because these train, for some reason, they're not convinced that there's enough trucks or something on this route. And we know that's a lie because there's no brick on these trains and there's none here at the station. So what are they doing, right? This is this mystery thing about brick I just can't seem to quite figure out. It's like, you should have left that brick behind because this is now 40 points down and is still falling. Like it's still collapsing, right? I'm assuming we're going to get a train in here any minute. I would say it's probably going to be 11. Yes, it is. It is 11. And 52 down to 15. Okay, so he dropped off about 40 brick. Okay, cool. But, this town could handle 40 brick. So anyway, we'll see how it goes here. Anyway, well, me and my squinty eyes as I envision the vortex that I was down for many days to try and get this to work. I can already see it coming back and haunting my dreams. So we're just gonna close that for a second. Let's bring up the line manager here, and as you can see, still at minus 1.7 million, right? And I've seen this number before. This is not the first time I have seen this number. I hate to say it. This is not my first time, right? I was this close before and didn't make it, right? And now even the brick trucks are now barely making money again, right? This Rome fuel, by the way, and it goes back up to over 2 million. But you see where this should be saving money, and it's not saving money, right? I'm telling you, the brick line is got a crazy curse on it or something, right? It's got this crazy curse. But anyway, nevertheless, it's not like we didn't give it a shot. And I could keep cutting these back all day long. I could add more trains back all day long. You will it just refuses. And now it's down to 5 minutes. I don't know why that is. It started off at 7 minutes and now it's down to 5 minutes, which I don't think is a bad thing, except the fact that, we're not making money on it. Now I'm not even making money anymore. Now it seems to be kind of upset about leaving money behind. I was at least seeing like a couple $100,000 on the positive on the odd occasion, but now it's, floating just in the minuses all the time again. So, and the truck line below it has now gone into the minuses. So it just seems like it's a very finicky thing, and I don't really have a good answer for it. Everything I seem to try, and this is train 10. Just nope. I'm not going to drop all that off. I'm not going to do it. You know what? This town may not want it, or may want it, but it doesn't seem to want it anymore. And that is what the scary part is, right? It just does not want it, people. And I could keep going on for another 10 minutes about this, and that's pointless. So, what do we want to handle about that? I mean, I'm okay to come back to it at another time, but I can try something else. It is much more radical, so let me think about it for a little bit, and I'll bring it back. Okay, people, let's see what happens with this number. Hey, look at that. That's $1.5 million. Now it's going to be gone momentarily, but that's okay. At least I seen a blue number that was more than $30 on that line, because now these trains have just dropped off all their materials. Now they're going to have to drive all the way going the other way, and of course the cost of the trains are going to start eating into this profit margin. But that's okay. Hey, look at that. I'll take that as a win. And there. See, now the cost of the trains are starting to go down a little bit. It's going to eat into the line. It'll probably go down to like about $1.5 million. But we'll let this run for a bit. We're going to let this run until they get to the other side again. Where is Train 9 and what is it doing? All right, so it's leaving Rome, and Train 10, of course, I'm expecting is leaving over here. So basically, you see it's now down to 1.4 million, and of course the cost of these trains, right? So they gotta hustle. They gotta hustle, to get over to the other side to pay for themselves, right? And see how it is, because it's danger zone territory. We're at minus 2.8, minus 2.3. I don't know how it calculates some of this stuff. It really is a mystery sometimes about how it tries to calculate this stuff. But anyway, it was nice to see a blue number there for a short time. It made me feel happy. Is it going to be profitable for like ever in a day? Probably not. But it is breaking even. For the most part, right? And if break even is what I can get out of it, I will take break even. That's kind of what I was just at least hoping for. I'll take break even at this point, and smile on my face, people. Look at that. Yeah, see, they both dropped off. That's 1.6 million again. Yay, us. I like that. And then, of course, they go back in the debt because of just the way the line runs. I really do wish, look, 31 out of 90, 25 out of 90. If it would just drop off the stuff it has, we would make money. But if I cut these down to 4 cars apiece, well, holy smokes, you'd think I just tore off their legs or something. And they'll get cranky. They'll get real cranky. Naples is down to 79, 78, 79. Just take more. Take more. You can have all the more. That train isn't going to be here forever. You could have taken more and been happy. But no, you didn't want any more. You don't want any more, Naples. And, we tend to have arguments all the time. Now, the other side, the truck lines are just losing money hand over fist, of course. They just don't get the amounts they need. And, again, 48 out of 86. Yes, it's nice to see this come up to 60 sometimes, but it never gets close to where it's supposed to be. And 26 out of 59 is abysmal, right? I have seen this be at 59. In fact, I've seen it higher, because the higher it gets, this number goes up, and this goes up to about a population of 181, not 118. So I've seen this number be higher, and I like it when it's higher, right? Not to say these truck lines were ever going to make any money, but at least it was going to be a thing where if they could keep the trains supportively running, that was always going to be the trick. So anyway, sometimes you got to take a win, people. Sometimes you got to take a win, and I'll take this as a win. It's nice to see this back down under 8 minutes. So it's now 8 minutes and 29 seconds, as this seems to have gotten into a routine pattern. I do find it drops about 1.5 minutes after it gets into a routine. So as you can see here, look at this, 1.1, and unfortunately, I think they're about near their drop-off points. No, see, now they're pulling out. So that will be it. 1.1 will be it, and then these guys will start losing money again, because now they're on their way back across to each other. So that's the losing side of things. So you can see now we're down to 103, and they'll continue to take loss, but it is what it is, right? They'll just run. They'll run. All right. See, I told you I could make up another 10-minute story on this, but it is nice to see where they are literally I'll call it break even, where, at least, they're floating around. You actually see blue numbers on the odd occasion. And brick, I still blame brick. I think it's a quirky thing. Brick is just quirky. Now, I could do one more thing. And that, oh, look, they actually made $224 now. Oh, look, $5,000. Look, if you just drop off enough brick to these guys, they'll make money. Trains, you. Curse you, brick. Curse you. Anyway, there is one more thing I could try. And basically, that is cut the brick out of the equation. Just haul the stone and be happy. Now, that's pretty radical, and I'm going to save that one for another day, people, because I'm pretty sure, I'm supposed to be taking it easy. This is the second time I played with this brick, and, that's... and it doesn't help with my high blood pressure and stress at the moment that I'm supposed to be getting under control. So we're going to leave it there for now. I'm going to take this as the win. I'm going to take this as the win as it is. I am a little concerned here because, I hate to see this number. There we go. We like to see the blue numbers, people. We like to see the blue numbers. I'm going to take that as the win right now because of what it is, right? At least it sees blue numbers. The two truck lines here and here will never see blue numbers as long as we're running it in this configuration. And, I was happy to see that the Napa truck lines actually are running. I could probably take a truck off of here, and we could probably, 20 out of 35, we could probably even run profit on that now because there's only 2 trains instead of 3 dropping off. So, with that, I'm Max. This has been, and again, the Italian job has just messed me up, Transport Fever 2, Eurozone, and, of course, it's amazing how all the other lines are like, yeah, we don't care what they're doing. Money. We can do money all day long. By the way, there is the Rome fuel train, and that is very rare for it to go in the negative, but that is just because of the way them trains cross each other. On the very rare occasion, for a brief second, it does hit negative. But, yeah, it usually runs about the 2.5 mark, right? It's happy. The trucks hauling all that stuff around are happy. Again, brick, people. It's brick. Thanks to recent subscribers and everybody that's been watching the series. As I continue to pull my hair out on this crazy brick train, I'm going to ignore it for a while. Maybe I'll even just, put a sticker on my screen. You ever hear the joke? Take whitener, and I'm just going to white out the screen on my computer screen so I don't have to look at the number. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take a piece of black tape, just put it right over that square right there, and I won't have to look at that number anymore. Don't do that, people, with your screens. Okay, listen. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This has been a slightly shorter one. What are we going to do on the next one? Well, I still have this tool line, and I'm not quite sure how we'll handle that, but I would also like to start working on this gear component. This is a fairly big build and is going to take, 3 or 4 episodes to get everything running up here. We've got to, and I won't be able to run the game at the same time because say you put it all together for gears, it won't produce. They'll just all conk out. They'll all blister. So with that, I'll figure something out, people. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.